right, you guys, welcome. So I was just hanging out, working with my new editor on getting some stuff ready, and all of a sudden I saw James Comey was indicted. And this was announced on a good friend of ours channel, Love Agenda Free TV over here. So I wanted to jump in and just see what's going on. And if I'm going to learn about something, I might as well learn with my community. So for those of you who don't know, James Comey is the ex-FBI director. He was the FBI director under Biden. And there's been a lot of sketchy, questionable things about the dude. There's been a lot of hither and thither, back and forth about whether or not this dude might be a stone cold criminal. And whether he may have participated in some stuff that was absolutely not cool. So I want to kind of get into this and see what Agenda Free TV be talking about, because I personally think he's a great source of information. He does news the way that I like to hear it. He does it non-politically biased. He just presents the facts, and then he lets you come to your own conclusion. Now, over here, I like to present the facts and give you guys, what my personal opinions are after we've presented the facts. But know that I'm always open to, be in open discourse about things. I don't always think I'm right. I know for a fact that I'm very wrong a lot of the time. So, I totally want you guys to know, when I'm offering my opinions, I'm not stuck on those opinions like it's anything concrete. I wanted to jump in and say to Unstable Barbie, hey JD, thanks for what you do. You got me through the end of my probation last year for sure. Hey, congratulations on getting through probation. Huge love and respect to you. I'm really proud of you. We got through probation together, sis, and we're all in this together. Jonathan Miller, I want to thank you. Man, thanks for that support. Our good sister, Sarah Beamer, can't stay. It's my happy birthday, Sarah! Hell yeah! Just wanted to let you know that my dad passed. It was Bear's dad. He told me I could tell you, love you, fam. I am so sorry to hear about that. Rest in peace, Pops. Big love to you. Big love to Bear. Remembrance for Pops. Love you and happy birthday. And thank you so much, Robert. So we're going to jump in here and we're going to hear a little bit from Agenda Free TV. Like I said, big shout, big respect to Agenda Free TV. Always good stuff over there. If you're not checking Agenda Free TV out, you really should be. Here we go. Very interesting fellow. What are we doing here, bud? What are we doing here? Comrade Everclear said,
okay, here we are.
Hold on.
We're there. Let's talk about former FBI Director James Comey has been indicted. Days after Trump called on his Attorney General to do it, basically. I mean, I have to go back to that exact post by President Trump on True Social. But he said he wanted justice to be served.
So real quick, because I pulled it up on screen, Comrade Everclear said, new shirt idea for you. Caption, beefing with boofers. With caricature of you wailing on a guy who was boofing something. For those of you who don't know what boofing is, that's where you put drugs inside of your rectum to bypass the liver because it gets you even more faded. I like that idea. That's kind of lit. Jonathan Miller said, hey, JD, just wanted to say me and my daughter love your content. Big love to you and your daughter, bro. I literally watched you the entire time in the hospital being born on July of this year. Congratulations, homie. Big love and respect to you and your daughter. Kyle Anderson said, you're the man. JD, we love you and Jax. And our good friend Victor said, so what happened? I just joined. Hey, check it out. We are about to get in it. You jumped in right at the right time because he is just about to let us know exactly what's crackling.
By the way, I didn't even have time. I'm going to check right now if President Trump has said anything about it.
Okay.
Oh, look, I even have, all right, I fixed the graphic. Here we go. Now we're jumping over to that right now. This is a big story. Big story. Big story. Oh, I got to change our headline.
Come on, man. Give us the news.
I'm gonna. Multiple outlets are reporting this. I'll say reports for now, but like Fox, CBS, Fox, NBC. I'm sorry, Fox, CNN, NBC. They're all reporting it.
I saw that CNN was reporting it.
FBI Director James Comey indicted.
Of course, CNN is saying that it's some sort of injustice.
Now, sorry, some people probably been yelling at me in the chat about things, but I had to get everything fixed out, set up.
Love you, Lisa.
President
Thank
Trump
you so much.
Posted about tariff on big trucks. President Trump has just posted about a tariff on big trucks. On True Social, he said, in order to protect our great heavy truck manufacturers from unfair outside competition, I will be imposing, as of October 1st, a 25% tariff on all heavy big trucks made in other parts of the world.
Bro, what? Big trucks? Just big trucks? That's pretty vague. I mean, are we talking about like commercial trucks? Are we talking about just normal personal use trucks?
I'm going to just post this so people know. No post about Comey from Trump yet, but he did just post about a new 25% tariff, he said.
25% on trucks? That's wild, bro. A 25% tariff on trucks. Is that semi-trucks? Are we talking U-Hauls? What exactly does that mean? Because you know Trump be using kind of childish wording sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It's the biggest, greatest tariff I've ever imposed. You know what I'm saying? But like, get more Pacific, dog. We want to know the deets. Give us the deets, bro. We nosy. Victor said, nobody trusts the three letters. I mean, what? I don't know what he just said about, I always trust all three-letter agencies. The government? Yeah, I trust the government. Anybody here trust the government and our wonderful three-letter agencies that probably are watching me right now? Let me know in the comments. Tanya, good to see you. Love you. She said, hey, fam, love to all. Have a great day. Ranch Dressing said, best wishes on your visit tomorrow. Thank you so much. For those of you who don't know, I'm going back into the prison that I spent 2 years in tomorrow to speak to men, to give them a message of hope for a future. Because it was given to me, and I can only keep it if I pass it along to others, man. It's a beautiful thing, and I'm really excited.
Trucks.
The biggest trucks with the biggest tariffs. I'm seeing nobody trusts the government or the three-letter agencies.
Just a little economics news. All right.
Pam
Bondi posted about it. Pam Bondi posted about it. Breaking news.
Here it is.
Post from Pam Bondi, the Attorney General.
Let's get it.
Look at this. Look at this. Guys, look. Hold on a second. Look at this. When I get it on the screen for you, you can see it.
Put it on the screen, big dog.
Here it is from Pam Bondi.
Yeah, if Bondi's announcing it, it's 100%, dude.
Pam Bondi says, where's my breaking news graphic? Oops. No one is above the law. Today's indictment reflects this Department of Justice's commitment to holding those who abuse positions of power accountable for misleading the American people. We will follow the facts in this case. So an indictment means they went to a grand jury and said, we want to charge him with X, Y, and Z. One report I read said that the grand jury agreed, said the grand jury went along with it on 2 of the 3 proposed charges. That's what one report said.
So, and that's what I want you to understand when we're talking about, we want the Epstein files. We want the Epstein files that reveal everybody's name. What Trump administration has asked for judges to do is to release the grand jury indictments. Exactly what he was just talking about. Those would be hyper-focused on the person they're trying to bring charges against. They wouldn't give us any idea of who else was involved because it's focusing on, and these grand jury trials documents would be on Epstein and Maxwell. We already know they were involved. So why would the Trump administration ask these judges to release that? Well, they would ask them to release that because then they could say, well, we tried, but the judges said no. Or if the judges released it, they could say, see, we gave you guys the grand jury trials. That's not what we want. We want the Epstein files. We want the names. We want proof of what they did. We want indictments. We want arrests. And we want fucking justice. And they're playing with us, assuming that we won't know. And I know a lot of people don't know because there's been a lot of people who have come into the comment sections on all my videos talking about it going, but he's trying. He tried to get us the grand jury indictment files. That's absolutely not what we want. And he's banking on you not knowing that. And the reason that I know that is because I was a criminal and I know how these things work. I studied the law because of the fact that I was a criminal. So the fact that a lot of people don't know it, I wouldn't expect them to know it. I wouldn't expect them to know the difference because, you know, it's better to be law-abiding, dog. So, you know, I respect it, but I want you to know what type of game he's playing with us.
Now, the standard for a grand jury indictment is not the standard for a conviction. Also, I believe at a grand jury, it's only the prosecution. The defense doesn't get to go to the grand jury and put forth its case. So he is now charged with a couple of federal crimes from the report I saw: obstruction and false statements. But President Trump has been pressuring his Department of Justice to charge several political enemies of his. I mean,
so obstruction and giving false statements are going to be pretty easy charges for them to get. Like, the burden of proof is still there, but like those are going to be pretty easy charges for them to prove. This isn't like you need 100 witnesses and all of that. Like, they're going to be using things against him that are going to be pretty case in point, I would assume. Cindy said, what about Epstein and Judd? We talk about Epstein almost every single day, sis. Almost every single day. We still apply pressure. There's only so much that can be done. Sheriff Grady Judd, my editor has that. I didn't have a good editor until just this last weekend. Now, welcome to the family. Our good friend Doc has it, and he's working on it right now. William Osterman said, hey, JD, this is the second live I've caught. Welcome. Love to have you, bro. Currently at work, I watch and listen to your content. Just wanted to say, keep giving us the facts. Appreciate you, bud, and I hope that your work day goes effortlessly, my man. Victor said, I can't trust my state either, but I got to live here. That's how I feel about Oregon, bro. The first arrest of Antifa members since Antifa was actually documented and declared, designated as domestic terrorists was made here in my city, Eugene, Oregon, yesterday. They attacked a federal building and they came out and pepper sprayed a bunch of them and arrested 2 of them. So I'm interested to see what those charges are going to be, you guys. I really am. Craig Piper, put this on somebody's books tomorrow. Craig, appreciate you, brother. Will do. Ghost Rider said, just chipper cleaning maintenance funds, JD. Love you, Ghost Rider. I appreciate that. The Wombolt said, JD, love your work. You remind me of many of my cousins who turned his life around too. Also, heads up, you are only coming out of one speaker. Only coming out of one speaker. Thank you for letting me know so I can make that adjustment. I appreciate you, big dog. Big love to you. Montgomery said, what you mean? I always trust the government. Yeah, me too. Trust the government, especially the 3-letter agencies who are watching me. Hey, I love the agents assigned to my case. I know you're probably bored, but you're going to stay bored. But I trust you. Love to the FBI and the Secret Service. I used to be worried about the DEA, but it was the Secret Service that busted me, oddly enough. Turns out the government can make money, but when you print it up, they get real mad. Victor said, ex-FBI gonna buy a wood chipper for us? Whew. Good Boy said, I've been a horrible son to my father. I know he loves me and shows me, but it breaks my heart being like this. Thanks, brother. You know what? I had to come to terms with that because I had given up on myself. My father, my mother, they never gave up on me, even though I 100% deserved it, man. So I can relate to that heavily. It's never too late to turn that around. As long as you're still breathing, you can make that shit right, brother. Robert said, I think semi-trucks are manufactured domestically, and I think the majority of them are. So are they going to be putting tariffs on, like, fucking Toyota Tundras and shit? Let me find out, dog. I'll be so mad. Trevor B. Alphabet soup ain't the same as it was when we were kids. I know that's right, dog. Daddy Wolf said, in wood chippers we trust, release the full files. Don't just release the files. Indict these pieces of shit, bro. We want to see justice. Marcus X, watch Range Day, bro. Video on CK murder, important. I will check that out, man. I don't know if you guys saw, but our good friend, Valhalla VFT, I've actually known him for over 20 years. He lives 15 minutes away from me. He was just on InfoWars with Alex Jones breaking down why there is something fishy going on. The shit doesn't add up, bro. It just doesn't add up. And Kenny Moggins. What's up, bro, Kenny Moggins? I get it, dog. I get it. Hey, JD, did you see all the top military brass is having a closed-door meeting on Tuesday? Something big around the corner. I wanted to get into that. So Pete Hegseth has called an unprecedented meeting of, like, everybody who's anybody in the military this coming Tuesday. And a lot of people are tripping because, why? For what? What's going on? And I wanted to get into that, but, like, that's the only information that we have available right now. Kind of creepy, dog. Craig Bryant said, I've been clean from cigarettes for 6 weeks now. It's rough. I'm making it through. That was one of the hardest things I ever quit, homie. Dead ass. Dead ass. Smoked for like 20 years. So, I felt so much better, though. After you get through this interim, you're going to feel so much better, my brother. Wes, just showing love and support. Love right back to you, homie. Sunup said, hi, JD. Any comment on the NCTC notice? Strongly recommend looking into it. I would have to look into it to be able to give you an educated comment, and I don't know exactly what that's referencing. So I would have to research it. I'm not hip yet. Thank you for giving me something to look up and research. I appreciate you, sis. Victor said, you need more monsters, so here. Yeah! Side note, I'm not going to trust anyone until Congress buys a ruler and a toilet and gets our country straight. Big facts on that, brother. And Maxim said, Mr. DeLay, I've been watching you since you had 70K subs. Dude, thank you so much. Great to see how much the channel has grown. Haven't been here in a while, but we all should come together for a brighter future for all of us. God bless you all. What an amazing and inspirational comment, brother. Thank you so much. Let's get back over here and see more about James Comey getting indicted.
I know many of you are well aware of this, but where is the post from, what was it? It was several days ago when he posted about this, when he posted a message to Pam Bondi. That was right here. So this was the post right here. Oops. This was the post from, hold on, can't see it. What am I? Why am I making things not work? Oh, I see. So this was the post from. This was 5 days ago. Pam, I have reviewed over 30 statements and posts saying that essentially same old story as last time, all talk, no action, nothing is being done. What about Comey, Adam, Shifty Schiff, Letitia? They're all guilty as hell, but nothing is going to be done. Then we almost put in a Democrat-supported U.S. attorney in Virginia with a really bad Republican past, a woke rhino who was never going to do his job. That's why two of the worst Dem senators pushed him so hard. He even lied to the media and said he quit, and that we had no case. No, I fired him, and there is a great case, Trump said, and many lawyers and legal pundits say so. Lindsey Halligan is a really good lawyer. And
anytime I hear woke Republican, I think of Tony Gonzalez in the 23rd District of Texas. Tony Gonzalez claims to be a Republican, but he's anti-gun. He's anti-border control. He's anti-everything that the Republicans stand for. And he basically just grifts every time that there's an election coming up. And he, even though he had millions and millions donated to his campaign by big businesses and big PACs, he almost lost last time. It only was 400 votes to an independently funded candidate by the name of Brandon Herrera. A true fucking American, a true fucking patriot, and now Brandon Herrera is running against the woke Republican Tony Gonzalez again, and I guarantee you this time, our boy's going to Congress, baby! Our boy's taking it all the way! I just saw that, and it just reminded me, anytime I hear woke Republican, I think of that, man. 100% that dude's a dong fondler, bro. He moans when he wipes, every time. I want to throw this up. Twilight Jones, thank you so much, dude. I appreciate you. Have you seen the recent James O'Keefe hidden cam about Epstein? I'd really like to get your take on it. Keep up the great work you and Jax do. This is one of the best channels and communities out there. We're fortunate to have you, JD. I am fortunate to have every single one of you. And thank you so much for saying that, Twilight. I love James O'Keefe's work. I loved some of the footage that he got from inside the Epstein Island that none of us had seen before. I didn't realize he had dropped more. Thank you so much for putting me up on game. Huge love, and thank you for that support, big dog. I see people saying that there are ads being played. YouTube does that. I'm not sitting here with an ad button. If I don't hit monetize, YouTube won't notify anybody that we're going live. And if I hit monetize, YouTube decides where to put ads. I promise you, I have no ad button here. YouTube do what YouTube do, man. I love this app, and I also understand at the same time, they are motivated by money. They're not altruistic. So just understand, if you're seeing ads, that is not me doing that. Don Bailey, JD, when are you going to go on Tim Pool and you and Phil can talk about rockin'? I haven't been contacted by Tim Pool, to see if he wanted to collab or anything, man. Believe it or not, I don't have contact information for very many people because I mainly stay to myself, bro. I'm not, if I were to just like 100% be like, yeah, I'm on this side or this side, then these other creators, a lot of them would be more motivated to bring me on. But since I'm an independent and since I do my own thing and I don't go with the narrative on either side, sometimes that ostracizes a person. I'm sure I say things that piss both sides off, but I try to be morally consistent and not loyal to any party or any narrative. So I don't know that much about Tim Pool. I don't know where he stands. I just know there's a lot of opportunities that I probably missed to network with people because I'm hard-headed, bro. I'm hard-headed as fuck. Tim Doe, appreciate you. Thanks for all you do. Love you, man. I appreciate you. Montgomery said, the Unsub podcast brought me here. Best thing those autistic mofos ever did. I've seen your shorts before, but I didn't know you did lives. Glad I found you. Montgomery, I appreciate you. I'm so glad to have you here. Lives are legitimately my favorite part of this because that's where we all get to know each other better. Vizsler said, JD, love you, dude. I love you too. We need loud voices to spread the word about the Schmidt-Mund Act. It allows the media to legally use propaganda against us. How this hasn't been revised already is mind-boggling. I am going to take a picture of that. Schmidt-Mund Act. Thank you so much for giving me something to research, my guy. Yo, Lucas. Henry Defense and Customs. He moans when he wipes. Bro, homeboy literally eats corn the long way. Homeboy eats bananas for the shape. Homeboy is 100% not the business. Brandon Herrera, Texas Congress, 23rd District, all day, every day. Victor said, no, not the ads, need premium. I have premium. I haven't seen ads in foreversies, you guys. Evsies.
Likes you a lot. We can't delay any longer, Trump said 5 days ago. It's killing our reputation and credibility. They impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times over nothing. Justice must be served now, he said 5 days ago. And he mentioned Comey, Adam Shifty Schiff, and Letitia James. Well, now...
Okay, I have to stop this because this is too fucking good. The Canadian realist said, eats Snickers upside down to feel the veins on his tongue. Oh, dude, I'm texting Brandon Herrera that when I get off live, bro. Yo, Canadian realist, that was dope.
James Comey has been indicted. I'm sure we'll get a post from President Trump soon. Oh, just an update here. Faytux News posted this. Thanks, Faytux. I hadn't seen this. 9 minutes ago, the police in North Jutland...
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Jax in the studio. Hello, love. You want to come say hi to everybody? Hi. And she's gone. We lost her.
Denmark said that the airspace over Aalborg Airport was reopened after being shut down due to suspicion of drone activity. I don't know if they ever confirmed there was a drone above Aalborg Airport in the last hour or so, but the Aalborg Airport airspace in Denmark has been reopened. Just wanted to let you know that. Oh, we have a new statement from Kash Patel. Kash Patel has posted.
Let's get it.
Statement from Kash Patel, the FBI director. Here is the statement from Kash Patel. I'm showing it to you right now. I have to get it on the screen for you. Breaking news. Post about James Comey indictment from Kash Patel. Today, your FBI took another step in its promise of full accountability. For far too long, previous corrupt leadership and their enablers weaponized federal law enforcement, damaging once proud institutions and severely eroding public trust. Every day we continue the fight to earn that trust back, and under my leadership, this FBI will confront the problem head on. Nowhere was this politicization of law enforcement more blatant than during the Russiagate hoax, a disgraceful chapter in history we continue to investigate and expose. Everyone, especially those in positions of power, will be held to account no matter their perch. No one is above the law. Now, he didn't specifically say Comey, but I think it's pretty obvious this means Comey.
Okay, so here's the thing. I love this nobody is above the law shit. But if we're only doing it to political opponents, it doesn't really track. You know what I'm saying? Like, and are people from Israel above the law when they come here? What about that fucking dude who came from Israel for the cybersecurity conference, was trying to pay for sex with a 15-year-old girl, got swooped up in one of those Chris Hansen, Alex Rawson, Gideon type bus, and they just let the motherfucker go with no charges, dog? Was he above the law? You can't really get out here and preach all this no one's above the law shit while you're still hiding the fucking Epstein files, dog. Like, it's performative, it doesn't really track. Let's not just talk about it, let's fucking be about it. Run up or shut up, guy. You know what I'm saying? Send it!
And say, I don't think that Pam Bondi specifically said Comey either, but it's pretty clear it's about Comey. Am I right that Bondi didn't say his name either? Yeah, she didn't say his name.
We all know
He
who
said,
she's talking about, dog.
Where is it here?
He just
No
got
one is
indicted.
above the law. Today's indictment reflects this Department of Justice's commitment to holding those who abuse positions of power accountable for misleading the American people. We will follow the facts in this case.
It doesn't matter if she said his name or not. The former director of the FBI was just indicted on obstruction of justice and making false statements. We all know exactly who she's talking about. We know exactly who Kash Patel is talking about. I just think that, I want to see it happen to everybody. When you say nobody's above the law, man, like, the wood chipper doesn't discriminate. The wood chipper doesn't care if you're right or left or white or black or straight or trans or gay or what your pronouns are. All these motherfuckers need to catch the business, just like me or you would. That's the thing about justice. Justice needs to be blind. Justice needs to apply equally across the board. And we shouldn't have situations like Brock Turner in this country where he got an easier run because he was well-to-do white kid who brutally raped an unconscious woman behind a dumpster, but he got off because the judge said he's a promising young man. Promising for what, motherfucker? To rape more people because you let him get off? And again, I'm going to bring up the dude from Israel. He should absolutely be fucking handled, bro. I like cake forever, Mr. Cake. Tim Pool is a liberal. He's a liberal. It's just that the political spectrum has shifted so far from left that normal folk like us are now default right leaning despite our political homelessness. Look, I get that. I get that too. I know a lot of people that, used to be like, I'm liberal. And then like, bro, it just went to insanity. Nowadays, liberal doesn't mean like you're a Democrat or you're left-leaning. Now it means that you are kind of fucking insane and you don't accept reality. Roman Wolf Gaming. People are overdosing on Tylenol. Did you see? Bro, I actually did a full length on it, and it's one of my funnier full lengths. And I don't know what the fuck, but nobody's watching it. It's only got like 25 or 26K views, but I thought it was fucking hilarious. I got a bunch of videos of these like super spazzed out liberal chicks that are pregnant, literally pregnant, taking shitloads of Tylenol to own Trump. Bro, you're killing your fucking baby. Whether it causes autism or not, Tylenol causes severe liver damage, dog. Have you ever seen somebody who's got a fucked up liver and what they have to go through for treatment? Yeah, it's crazy, bro. Like, I don't even take that shit, dog. When I'm in pain, I just don't take anything. You know what I'm saying? And it's long before this autism shit, because I'm probably all of autist, bro. I have all 80 of the HDs, and I'm probably, like, all of autist, but, I don't take that shit because I want to keep my liver. I already drank and did the meths way too much. Victor said Tony needs a Snickers. He ain't real when he's hungry, just like Brandon needs an alcohol at the live shows. Bro, it is so fun, even as a sober person. Let me tell you this. Hanging out with Brandon and Donut Operator and the Fat Electrician and Eli Double Tap and Angry Cops. And Angry Cops took me out to JT's house from Black Rifle Coffee Company. Got to hang out with Caleb and all them. It was so much fun hanging out with them, even as a dead-ass sober human being, while they were drinking. They're the funnest dudes when they're drinking. Anthony Cavasso! What's up, dog? Hey, JD, had to go to the dentist to get an extraction and a bridge. It makes me wonder what kind of dental services do prisoners get? Do some prisons have a dentist? They did in Oz, the TV show. So I'm only missing one tooth, and it's way back in the Maybach, homie. And I had to have it removed in prison. And it would have been a simple fix. But it had an infection. And they were like, look, here's the deal. We'll either pull your tooth and charge you like $200 and give you a couple fucking ibuprofen, or you can just deal with the infection going into your brain and you can fucking die about it. And the dentist that they had at OSP had lost his dental license because he was doing weird molesty shit. I found this out later. He was doing weird molesty shit to his patients while they were under. And so that was the dude who yanked a tooth out of my head that didn't need to be yanked out. It's the only tooth I'm missing. All them fist fights I got in, all that meth I smoked, I'm missing one tooth. And it's literally because it got infected. I had a filling in it. I was chewing a Laffy Taffy, bit down on that bitch, and it pulled the filling out, and it cracked the tooth, and it got an infection up in there, and they yanked my tooth. They have horrible dental service in there, bro. Horrible. Jay, what's up, big dog? How you doing, man? Appreciate you. I'm going to jump down here real quick. Maxim said, thank you so much for that support. I appreciate that. I love you. I think it is wise to be independent. Both sides have really disappointed us in the past and did some disgusting things. Nowadays, we don't know who to trust. Everybody has some skeletons in their closet. Hopefully, we can all unite under God. Huge love and respect, and thank you so much for that support, big dog. I agree 100%, and I appreciate you being here. Wyatt Anderson said, hey, JD, just wanted to shout out a small channel I found called Faith and Freedom USA. It has 9 subs, and the dude was directly inspired by Charlie Kirk and does short-form news. Show him some love so he can inspire more people. Let's, real quick, Wyatt, while we're on here, I'll keep yapping. I'm not going to stop yapping. We're going to keep it going, but I want to go, since Wyatt so highly recommends this, we are going to go to Faith and Freedom USA. Freedom USA. And we are going to give them a sub right now. I am their 13th subscriber. Love you, Wyatt. I appreciate you. Victor said, bruh, I miss the wood chipper streams on work days. I'm sorry, big dog. Jay Skirmish said, you hear about the David case? Or the Day 4D? I don't know how, is that David? I think it's David. If so, are you gonna TB it? So, I need to get in there because I know, didn't they find like a dead 15-year-old girl in his trunk or some shit like that? Such a nasty bastard, bro. I need to get into that. I definitely need to get into that. The BTK, Uncle Chippy is an equal opportunist. Big facts, dude. Turd, what's up, man? How you doing? Thoughts on people saying that the people are saying it was an assault on ICE dismisses the deaths of innocent illegals. It was an intended assault on ICE, but the dude was such a fucking retard that he ended up killing people that he was trying to advocate for and protect by violently attacking federal agents. Two things can be true at once. It's weird to me that people want to say that it's dismissive to bring up the truth. We don't do that here. I think that, it was an intended assault on ICE. He killed innocent bystanders, which is generally what happens when you give a retard a gun who doesn't know how to use a gun. He ends up hurting people that aren't intended targets. And that's why these people should just literally stay in their basements, dog. Stay in your basement, stay on the keyboard, send me more death threats. How's that sound? I could use more death threats. They've been slowing down over the last 3 days. Do that instead of going out and doing these violent, politically motivated attacks, you fucking morons. That's what I think. Lucas said, libs would eat shit if Trump told them not to. And we see that with the Tylenol shit, bro. Tylenol Americans, the Wombolt. Hell yeah, dog. Blue Blood, I appreciate you. Digital James, justice needs to be blind, but our government has proven that justice is often retarded. My guy, I love you. Birdman, check out Dennis Prager leak. He was on DOJ investigator on the Epstein case. Also, is there a way to email you? Birdman, I don't put out emails over lives because the last time I did, the email got completely nuked. It was just destroyed. But hit me up on Insta, bro. I appreciate you. And our good friend Twilight, man, back again. Love you so much. Just putting it out there, the latest Wood Chipper 2028 hat is the perfect stocking stuffer. Make pedophiles afraid again. Hell yeah, Twilight. So we got the new Wood Chipper 2028 merch. I know you guys really liked the Wood Chipper 2024 merch. And I didn't know that we was going to do an updated one, but it seems so relevant right now. On Bunker Branding, there's a link at the top of the chat. You can get your Wood Chipper 2028 merch. It's on Bunker Branding now, so it's even better. It looks even doper. We got them in black and white, and the hats have American flag on the trucker part of that shit, the mesh part. They're sick, bro. Atex said, my teeth were pulled out while I was awake. Yep, me too, dude. Me too. And he had to get in there with a little metal hammer thing, and he was chipping at it and shit. It was terrible. Naval doctors don't care about it. Marines don't care about Marines. Love your vids, JD. Hey, thank you for your service. I love you. I'm sorry you went through the same type of shit that I did. Yet another parallel between serving your country and serving time in this country. And Montgomery said, I'm number 28 of Faith and Freedom USA. Let's keep it going, y'all. Hell yeah! I love bumping up small channels, man. Alfie, big love to you. Let's get back in here and see what Attorney General Pam Bondi has to say about James Comey getting indicted.
Wow. Big news. James Comey indicted.
So has he been arrested yet?
Let me try to get you some new reporting on this.
They gotta process him. I want to see a mugshot. Who wants to see a mugshot? I like to see the mugshots. Turd Ferguson said, Libs ODing on Tylenol, problem solved. Here's the problem. The problem isn't solving itself because a lot of them, you'll see in my video, are very pregnant. They're very pregnant. So they're like literally hurting an unborn child. Not that they have a problem with that, but I do.
The Eastern District of Virginia, says MSNBC's Ken Delanian. And the Eastern District of Virginia is where that the U.S. attorney in the Eastern District of Virginia resigned several days ago, reportedly after refusing to charge New York Attorney General Letitia James. So it was that. And President Trump named a new person to be the head attorney there. Here's a Reuters report about today. Hold on. FBI ex-chief Comey criminally charged as Trump targets critics, source says. Reuters says former FBI Director James Comey was indicted on criminal charges of false statements and obstruction on Thursday, a person familiar with the move said, in what Reuters calls an escalation of President Trump's campaign to seek retribution against people who have investigated or criticized him. Trump fired Comey in 2017, early in his first term in office. He has also since regularly assailed Comey's handling of the FBI investigation that detailed contacts between Russians and Trump's 2016 campaign. Since Trump returned to office in January, his Justice Department has been examining Comey's 2020 testimony before the Senate Judiciary Committee when he addressed Republican criticisms of the Russia investigation and denied he had authorized disclosures of sensitive information to the news media.
Scroach McGoat said Pam Bondi is reported to have responded to the news of James Comey being indicted by saying, huh? Well, she went out and she's already made an announcement about it. He played it. He actually showed it on the screen. So I'm not sure if that report is actually accurate, my dude.
The case against Comey marked the starkest example of the Trump administration using its law enforcement power against a prominent Trump critic after the president promised retribution during his successful 2024 election campaign. As we talked about, the grand jury indictment came after the president mentioned Comey by name in a social media post, chiding Trump-appointed U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi for not moving quickly enough to bring criminal charges against his most prominent antagonists, writing in capital letters, "Justice must be served now." So here's the reportedly this indictment was brought in the Eastern District of Virginia. The effort to target Comey has been viewed with skepticism in the Eastern District of Virginia, the U.S. Attorney's Office handling the case. The district's top federal prosecutor, Eric Siebert, resigned last week after drawing Trump's wrath for expressing doubts about the strength of the case. And the number 2 official there, Mary Maggie Cleary, has also expressed concerns, according to people familiar with the situation. Some other prosecutors in the office, says Reuters, have told Siebert's successor, appointed by Trump, Lindsay Halligan, that charges should not be filed due to lack of evidence, according to one of the sources.
Well, it turns out that a grand jury decided that there was enough evidence to indict on 2 out of the 3 charges they tried to bring him up on. And that's what a grand jury indictment is all about. That's why when they say they want those Epstein grand jury files, that's what it is it's you're going to a grand jury and you're saying, hey, look, we want to indict this person on this and this and this. This is the evidence that we have. And then from there, they say, okay, there's enough to indict him on this and this, maybe not this, this you can do. So that's what a grand jury, that's behind the scenes what happens before you get indicted. They take it to a grand jury. And the grand jury decided that they had enough on Comey, regardless of what the shit they're talking about. The grand jury decided they had enough. So that is what it is. Jay Skirmish said, yes, it's David, and unfortunately it gets worse. Rest in peace, Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And the media keeps saying she was 15. She was actually 14. God, bro, that's so bad. That's so bad. Thank you for bringing it to my attention and solidifying that I need to cover that, dude. I appreciate you, Jay. Huge love and respect, my guy. All up Skellerex. So hypothetical here. What am I looking at prison time if I go down for tax evasion, fraud? Just curious. Depends on the severity of it. Depends on what they decide to charge you with. And depends on your criminal record, my dude. There's a lot of variables. It's not that long, I don't think. And if it's not a lot of money. And honestly, you'll get sent to the nicest federal penitentiary. Turd Ferguson. Yeah, buddy. Dominic, my boy, what is up, man? How you doing? Montgomery Cross said, Natty Guard has deployed a riot fence around the White House. And isn't it interesting that they did that yesterday? That the National Guard came in, put up a riot fence around the White House, and Tuesday, Pete Hegseth has called in all the top brass from the U.S. military to have a meeting, which is unprecedented. It's never happened before that he called any director of the Department of what's now known as War, it used to be Defense, to call them all in on a meeting like that, all in one place. Is the timing just coincidental? What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments if that seems like it's a little bit more than coincidence with that timing. Robert Friel, as soon as you get that 2A thing sorted out, I've got a great starter AR that will look great at range day. Homie, thank you so much, bro. I'm working on it. I'm trying. I'd really like that back, dog, to be honest with you. And I appreciate you more than you know, bro. The Gym. Hey, JD, I got a joke might get a laugh out of. What do you call a pedophile named Richard Head? Mulch. They can all be mulch, my dude. Hell yeah. Dominar said, I heard that the Brave browser will block YouTube ads. Maybe worth checking out. Hey, if that's a thing, try it, bro. Try it. I hit that shit because I have to, because otherwise no one will know that I'm going live. YouTube won't notify nobody. Trev said if we're bumping channels up, I just started co-hosting the Roll the Bones podcast. Check us out if you want to hear everything from OG mobsters to current crime. And I just want to say, I when I saw that pop up, immediately went and subscribed because I want to see Trev, one of our moderators here, talk about all this stuff. So I was the 726th subscriber. I'm getting in on the ground floor before they blow up. Digital James said, didn't Pam Bondi say that she had the Epstein files on her desk? Yes. She lost all credibility with me. Same. And I think she should be taken out of her position. I think that they're looking for reasons to take her out of her position. I think that part of the reason that Trump condemned her for not bringing something against Comey sooner is I think that he keeps hammering on her because he saw how poorly she has fucking dealt with this whole situation. Regardless of whether he's guilty or not, she made him look super fucking bad. And then him repeatedly trying to change the subject and dismiss the validity of all of it when clearly the American people care, his own mouth made it look worse. But I think she makes a great fall person in this situation. I wouldn't be surprised and shocked if within the next 6 months, if she's replaced. Nylon Python, the pro-map charity, pro-map charity? Pro-pedophile? The fuck? Charity Protasia Foundation was just shut down this month, citing a growing anti-map sentiment in the stimulus for a shifting climate. You may be literally making maps afraid again. Yes! I didn't even know those bitches existed! But hell yes! Yes! Anybody who's out here perpetuating and trying to further the agenda of people who victimize kids needs to get the fucking chipper, dog. Whether you're a fucking pedo yourself or a sympathizer, you're mulch. Period. Nylon Python, thank you for some good news, homie. Hell yeah. Victor, I said it once, I'll say it again. I don't trust the 3 letters except the IRS. Joker bowed to the IRS. Man, I don't want to fuck with that IRS, bro. They can make my life complicated. Even if you do everything right, they can make your life complicated. Jay said, of course, much love, JD. Much love right back to you, homie. Big ups to you. Turd said Bondi sent an attorney to advocate for our gun rights against PICA in Illinois. Look up PICA. So that's one thing that, and you guys know, I don't simp for politicians. When they do a good job, I give them a golf clap. When they do a bad job, I call them the fuck out. Now I'm going to give Pam Bondi props. Because Pam Bondi, the only reason that it's on the table for me to get my gun rights back is because Pam Bondi did a good thing. Pam Bondi took, there's always supposed to have been the option to get your gun rights back as a convicted felon, but it is laid at the feet of the ATF for decades now. And Pam Bondi said, you guys aren't doing your job. The Department of Justice is taking it over, and we're going to start processing applications. So as much as I call people out when they do shit that I disagree with, I'm going to give her the clap on that. She's doing some shit that's pro-Second Amendment and pro-freedom in this country, in my opinion. That's why I don't want to align with a political party, because I want to be able to still say steadfastly, fuck you if you're doing fucked up shit. And I want to be able to say, yeah, right on, if you're doing something bad. Like Ro Khanna is a Democrat, but he staunchly fought to get the Epstein files released, and I think that's lit. So I want to be able to come on here and give him props without sounding like a fucking hypocrite, because I don't put myself in one lane or the other. I put myself in the lane of what I feel is right at all times. Elijah said, Brave does block YouTube ads, but it does a lot more as well. I recommend it for anybody looking for safety and privacy. Awesome, dude. Awesome. Hell yeah. Victor, hey, Maps. We got some old wood chippers for you. I love you, bro. Let's see exactly what we're talking about.
Halligan most recently served as a White House advisor, and before that was one of Trump's personal defense lawyers. Trump and Comey have had an acrimonious relationship since the start of the president's first term in 2017. Trump fired him as FBI director days after Comey publicly confirmed that the president was under investigation over his elections campaign connections to Russia. Comey then emerged as a prominent critic of Trump, calling him morally unfit for the office.
J.D. Vance did that too. J.D. Vance started out a never Trump guy, and now he's the vice president.
All right, let's give you more coverage of this. Again, I'm going to see if President Trump has commented on this. James Comey has been indicted. I think at this point I'm safe in removing the reports because it's being so widely reported, and we have those posts from Kash Patel and Pam Bondi. Now, Macro Geek says there was enough evidence for the grand jury, apparently. So certainly a grand jury has signed off on these two charges. A couple of things I want to mention, though. First of all, a grand jury the burden of proof for a grand jury is lower than the burden of proof you need for a criminal conviction. Also, remember that as far as I'm aware, in a grand jury proceeding, the defense does not get to be there.
That is accurate because they haven't been assigned a defense yet. So the prosecution brings forth their evidence and their argument. The defense gets to bring their argument in court in front of the actual jury. So he's 100% accurate here.
Just the prosecution. So a couple things to keep in mind. The grand jury is not asked to make the same type of judgment that a jury in a federal criminal trial will be. We'll see what happens in the federal criminal trial, if there is one. I assume unless there's a settlement or the charges are withdrawn, there will be one. Hang on a moment here. So this is breaking news. James Comey indicted.
I don't feel like that's that breaking. We've been talking about it for like an hour now. What's happening?
This is just coming out now.
We already know the charges and everything. It's obstruction and giving false statements. So I'm assuming that those false statements were false statements given
Multiple
while under
reports
oath.
say he was indicted for alleged false statement and obstruction of justice.
So, don't get it fucked up. These people can lie. The only time it's a crime is when you're under oath. So that has to be while he was under oath.
I have not seen a statement from James Comey. Now, remember the three people that Trump mentioned in his post to Pam Bondi 5 days ago. He mentioned Comey, Adam Schiff, and Letitia James. So could we see charges for them?
Yes.
And anybody else? Any other political enemies of President Trump?
Should be just anybody who broke the fucking
Brian
law.
H. says needs a perp walk also. Stevers says this will go nowhere.
Can you imagine Comey doing a perp walk, dog? Woo! I want that mugshot.
By the way, thanks to Cindy McAfee for your support. Thank you to Duck Vision. Thank you, the Vladinator, who says, I enjoyed the reprieve from constant chaos in the U.S. Can't it just go a few more days without more drama?
Nope.
Thanks, Jiggle Jess and Accident Seller.
What is he talking about, bro? There was just a shooting at an ICE detention facility yesterday morning. A fucking Antifa retard took a fucking rifle and was trying to kill ICE agents and killed detainees, bro. I'm helping! What do you mean, can we have a couple days with no drama? Absolutely the fuck not. This is 2025 in America.
By the way, and Sean E. for your support. And also, July Johnson on Twitch. Guy from the 207 on Twitch.
All right, so at this point, it seems like he's just reading Twitch comments and shit like that. I don't want to hear him reading his Twitch comments. That seems boring and lame. I'd rather do comments with you guys. Tom said, as a wood chipper owner, I understand the maintenance fees involved. Big love from Welland, Ontario. Keep doing what you do, big dog. P.S. Fuck that pedophile from Welland. Hope he chips well. Big love and respect, dog. Hell yeah. Sith Gamer, I finally know what MAP gas stands for. Bro, I used to like blow my MAP gas or my meth pipes with MAP gas. I would get glass tubes and I would use a MAP gas torch and blow meth pipes with MAP gas. That shit burns hot. Maxim said, I think somebody is applying pressure to both Donald J. Trump and Bondi. Mossad does not want to lose all compromising materials on politicians and bankers they collected. They want to cash out later. That's $1 billion list. And so I think it's important to understand that Charlie Kirk started talking about that a week before he ended up not with us anymore. Before he was brutally assassinated, he started blaming Israel and Mossad and saying that they were actually, he said, and I quote, that they're blackmailing a lot of people in our government with that material. Desert Rose said, JD, my adult daughter needs to be tested for autism in October. It's $2,400, no insurance. Do you think a GoFundMe could raise funds? I hear people are backing away from donating. Love to you and Jax. I think that people are backing away from donating to the really shitty GoFundMes. And I think that's appropriate. I think GoFundMe was created for situations. Unfortunately, it's a fucking nightmare that we live in a country where people who need medical help are having to use GoFundMe because they can't afford basic medical services, but that's the reality, and that's part of what GoFundMe was started for. I think that the things that people are backing away from is these hyper-politicized things, like, the donation things for, God, what was his name? The dude who killed Austin Metcalf, the lady who called the little black kid the N-word a bunch of times. I don't know why people are donating to these people anyway. That's insanity. That's nuts, bro. But I think good things like that, I think is absolutely a good thing. And please let me know, Rose, if you start that GoFundMe. Atex, new shirt idea, maps, mulch all pedophiles. Hell yeah, I love that, dude. Birdman said, I sent you that Prager link about Epstein files to your Insta. Thank you. Big love and respect, man. I appreciate that. Cat's Rule said, all the best to you, JD, and God bless. P.S. Looks like next up could be none other than Mr. Antichrist himself, George Soros. I would love to see George Soros sitting in a prison cell, eating prison food, having the worst possible life. I think George Soros is a demon. I think he's evil. I think he wants this country to fucking burn. I absolutely hope that happens, Cat's Rule. Twilight said, meat and potatoes on the O'Keefe video on X. Is that hard R on the plane with Epstein and POTUS? Because with minors, Donald J. Trump was on flights but not involved, but Donald J. Trump is protecting them. If true, both are equally deserving the wood chipper. Look, I don't care who it is. If somebody is knowingly aiding or abetting before, after, or during the fact of children or anyone being sexually assaulted, they need the wood chipper as much as the person whose dick is involved. Period. Point blank. If you are covering up for somebody who perpetrated shit on children, you are wood chipper eligible. And I don't care who it is, they need to be brought to justice. They need to be given their due process. They need to go into a courtroom. They need to get everything dragged out in court in front of the whole world, and then they need to get their justice. I 100% agree with you on that. Jensen said, though I wouldn't forgive it myself, I would understand if releasing the Epstein files would cause world issues. If our world is built on elites raping children, and it is threatened, the balance is threatened by exposing people who rape children, our world needs to be revamped, rebuilt, and things need to be changed. Because that is not tolerable behavior, and it doesn't matter if you're the most elite, richest, powerful person in the world, or if you are a lowly fucking scumfuck. Justice needs to be equally applied. And that's my personal opinion on it. I don't care what the damage is. Those victims, those kids deserve justice. That's my personal take on it, for what it's worth. Kane said, does hearing from one side of the brain affect? Yes, listening with only one ear affects my brain and can lead to increased cognitive load and higher risk of cognitive decline and dementia. LOL. I'm sorry. As soon as I get done with this, I'm going to fix the fact that it's only coming through one speaker. I do apologize. I appreciate y'all hanging out. We're going to be jumping off here because it's dinner time. I'm a fat kid and I got to eat. We've been on here for about an hour. But I'll tell you this, the next time I come back, I will have that audio issue figured out. I have an engineer now. Big love to Doc. Big love to Trev and Dr. Dre Light for being here and helping us out with this chat. Make sure that you guys go out into this weekend that we got coming up. Do something for yourselves. Do something for somebody else. And bring all the love you can in the world because we've got dark times right now. And it looks like things could be getting a lot weirder. We'll see what happens next week with this Hegseth meeting with all the top brass from the military. Victor said, uh-oh, I'm a trucker. I can only have one speaker. Oh, hell yeah. And Dudes Detailed, thank you so much. I love you guys. Till the next one, it's always one love. Be good or be good at.